Well, I've been around a while, seen a lot of things. A lot of things I found quite unbelievable. But today, my friend at work, Plant Killer, he allowed me to say his real name on YouTube. Now, I don't know why ever in the world he'd want me to do such a thing, because sometimes I think he was a preacher's boy too, because trouble follows him everywhere he goes. Well, one time when I was about 26 years old, I was working with this guy named Ronald in Raleigh, North Carolina. We were building these big condos up there. Well, he goes to the Kinley Camp meeting, the same place I got my toe stomped when I was a little boy. I didn't go, but he did, and he come back talking about this girl being devil possessed, and that they were up till 2 o'clock in the morning trying to cast them devils out, telling that devil, "Come out of that girl, come out in the name of Jesus." He said, but being she just kept right on, foaming at the mouth and cussing, and her eyes were red. I stood there and watched the whole thing. Well, I had never seen a devil-possessed person before, but neither had my dad. I'd never heard him talk much about casting out no demons, even though it is mentioned in the Holy Bible. So the next night, I went with him to that Kinley Camp meeting. And there was this girl there who they had said they had delivered the night before, but she fell out on the floor and started foaming at the mouth again and cussing and using all kinds of profanity, and her eyes were red. And Ronald said, "Ben, this girl's got to get delivered." I said, "Ronald, ain't nothing wrong with that girl. Only thing wrong with her is she needs some psychiatric treatment. She needs to see a psychiatrist. There ain't nothing wrong with that girl." And he said, "But how do you explain the foaming at the mouth?" I said, "Well, I don't know, Ronald. Maybe she likes to chew on Alka-Seltzer. Or maybe she didn't rinse her mouth good after she brushed her teeth. Either way, that don't mean she's devil possessed." "Well, what about the red eyes?" I said, "Well, Ronald, probably because she's been using drugs like a lot of other Americans I know in this day and time." And then he said, "But what about the cussing? And the preacher said she could speak Latin." I said, "Well, I know a few Latin words myself, Ronald, but that don't make me devil possessed. And, a lot of people can say the word Latin, but that don't make them devil possessed." Anyway, they proceeded to go outside, and some of the church members followed after that girl. And it was dark that night, and there was a cornfield across from that place, and she walked into the cornfield. And I stood there and told Ronald, I said, "Well, I guess this thing is going to go from devil possession to the children of the corn. He who walks behind the rose." So anyway, a bunch of Christian people went in that cornfield looking for that girl. And she comes out before they do. They were still in that dark cornfield looking for that girl. She sit down under this big oak tree, and Ronald was standing there going, "You got to go, devil. You got to come out of her." And I looked at him, I said, "Ronald, how many times I got to tell you there ain't nothing wrong with that girl right there? She just needs to see a psychiatrist." The whole situation, I thought, was just plain weird. Or what? What do you think, Walt Hampton? There, I said your real name.